The longer you stay clean, the easier it gets to stay clean. Some days are still really, really hard, and I have to lean on the people around me. More than anything, I want my children to be okay. I have to do this. They need me to do this. I'm their only hope. My life was pretty normal up until I was about 5 years old, and my mom got diagnosed with cancer and was really, really sick my whole childhood. My dad was fairly abusive, not physically or anything, but I got yelled at a lot, which caused me to become like an anxious, insecure, nervous person. My dad, who had been in recovery during my childhood, he started using again after my mom passed away. His girlfriend started giving me cocaine when I was about 14 years old. I was 18 and started doing Oxycontin at that point. It was a really quick fall into heroin from Oxys. I was homeless, sleeping on people's floors. Realized pretty quickly that it was not what I wanted. And I spent that summer up in Canada with my mom's family and got myself clean. And then ended up coming back down to the States. Long story short, I met the father of my children, which very quickly became a very volatile, toxic situation. We were drinking a lot, taking a lot of like Xanax and that sort of thing, blacking out, having knockdown, drag-out fights. And then I was pregnant. We both stopped drinking. As soon as I had Finn, he started drinking again. He hurt his back and got an oxy prescription, and I started doing his oxys. And then again, like pretty quickly, I had reached out to my cousin from Hampton and started getting heroin and cocaine from him. At that point, I still didn't really understand like the abuse that I was even suffering. Like, I didn't know what gaslighting was. Like, I knew him calling me names and yelling at me like wasn't great, but he wasn't beating me. And I sort of internalized a lot of that. My father taught me codependency very early on, so it was still sort of in my mind like, oh, I'm making him act this way. If I'm better, he'll stop treating me this way. I was trying so hard to get better, and I got back from rehab and was like, hey, like, I just need to go to like a couple AA meetings a week. Like, this is what I need to stay clean. And he just would not let me. He basically like imprisoned me. I was not allowed to leave the house by myself. I wasn't allowed to talk to anyone. But I still was finding ways to use. My only connection to the outside world was our house phone. And he snapped it. And for me, that was just kind of like, well, now you could kill me, and like, you know, I'm not going to be able to call anyone for help or anything. So I got in my car and I drove to the police station. I spilled everything about my own use, about the domestic violence. I just told the complete and utter truth of all of it. And my children were taken like 3 days later into state custody. I left in probably January of 2020. I stayed with a friend for a few weeks and then got a spot at the Caring Unlimited shelter. 2019, November 13th, 2019 is my clean date. Twice a week I was in therapy. I sort of kept myself busy. I did the things that I knew I needed to do to heal. I ended up with full custody of both of our children. It's really hard. I think one of the biggest pieces for women leaving domestically violent relationships with their children is like they need the support. I'm a healthy person today. I have healthy relationships in my life with friends. I'm in a really healthy, wonderful romantic relationship with a really, really wonderful man. It's so different than anything I had ever known. And I really have found my happy ending, and it's really awesome. I've worked really hard, and I'm really proud.